Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Suzanne Taylor-King here for another Friday, a live episode of Unlock Your Way with STK. And we are here today with a total stranger that I picked up on LinkedIn, Kevin Voisin, correct? I
Close
pronounced
enough.
it
It's very
well?
hard to it's
It
Wazan,
is.
but even I can't look at it and say it, so I forgive you.
Okay, you forgive me. All right, so I'm going to start off introducing a stranger here that I love what he does. Because what if the most dangerous thing in your life right now isn't a crisis? It's how comfortable you've gotten. And Kevin is the COO and head coach at, okay, pronounce
It's
this,
Apogee, yeah, that's a tough one
Apogee
too. I'm
Strong.
I'm the master of hard things to pronounce, I think.
Well, I'm a fan of eudaimonology, so you try to say that one and we'll be even.
We'll
Um,
just call it even, I won't try.
yeah. Well, here's why I wanted him on the show today because he's a mindset coach, but he doesn't sell motivation. He sells a standard, the kind your grandfather lived by, the kind the Stoic philosophers lived by, the kind we've kind of stopped asking ourselves to meet. And that's why I wanted to have this conversation with him because I think so many people, Kevin, are not living up to personal moral values standards that really I don't know, set you apart in today's marketing AI world.
For sure, and I think when you say, like, you need to live a standard, I think most
Mhm.
people immediately recoil, and they're like, "Well, who's
Mm.
gonna tell me what that standard is?" Guess what?
Yeah.
You
You.
you tell you who that standard is, and
Yeah.
if you don't know what it is, and if you can't tell me, hey, here's what my core values are, and
Mhm.
quickly, then I mean, maybe life's working for you, maybe not, maybe you're just a
Yeah.
reaction to what's happening around you, you know.
Yeah. Well, I think I notice, entrepreneurs that I work with, founders, they struggle with really staying true, balancing the values and the making money thing. And I think personally that they can go really nicely together if you're willing to stand in those beliefs and values.
Well, I think so. Here's something too. When I teach core values, right? Your core values are let me shift the conversation for just a second. I promise I'll
Sure.
come right back. Right?
Yeah, yeah.
Imagine if I said, "What are your legs?" That's such a ridiculous thing. I mean, your legs are your legs, like, and yours are different than mine. Thank God for
Right.
you. And I'm 6'4", so they're a different length than someone who's 5'3", and but they're my legs, right? And so
Mhm.
here's just a thought. What if core values are kind of like that? If they truly are your core values, then you'll see them in your whole life backwards and forwards because they're what? They're core. They're not something you're developing. They're not something that
Right.
you want to aspire to. They're just who you are, right? Like for me, like I live powerfully imperfect. Like powerfully imperfect is maybe my number
Mm.
one core value. And then we not me is another thing. Like I'm not a shark, I'm an orca. I like friends, I like to play, I like to make a lot of noises for no particular reason. Like I'm not going to live this isolated, badass
Yeah.
existence off in the cold. I
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
want that. Like I don't want that. I just don't. I want to play. And those are core values to me. They're
Mhm.
not the normal integrity or synergy, but remember, your core values are who you actually are.
Right.
And so you're not really trying to create those, you're trying to just kind of uncover those. And they're there. If they're core, you'll see it when you really find the purpose of your life, right? And it's something you choose, and then so when I say find, I don't mean like it's hidden. It's just that you kind of have to experience your way to it. You suddenly see, oh yeah, I've always been doing this.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I see that. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, that discovery can be really incredible. Um, One of the assessments I love is the VIA character strengths assessment. And everyone that I've ever had taken it, there's 25 core character strengths, everybody goes right to the bottom of the list to see what they're bad at. And okay, what are the things I need to improve? Typical high achievers, right? Well, I challenge people to look at your top 3 to 5 and how can you use those every day. And I remember when I did it for myself, and my number one character strength was love of learning. Second was curiosity. Third was humor. And I was like, wow, this is going to be fun. Like to really lean in and be able to use those 3 things every day because they come naturally to me instead of trying to improve something I'm not good at.
Yeah, I'm reminded of my dad. My dad at one point was trying to buy a new house. And then,
Mhm.
of course, this was like an adventure. What house does mom want and what house does
Oh,
dad
yeah.
want? And in
Oh,
our
yeah.
house, it's like a holy war. Every decision was a holy war. So, you know, mom's looking for like 6 acres, and dad, who's born in LA, um,
Mhm.
he found this place. It was amazing, huge house. And I think that the yard was like 10 square feet. And I was like, what do you like about this place? He's like, think about how I can cut the grass in 2 minutes. Like I never have to touch grass. He hated doing lawn. I have inherited this trait. Side note: if you're walking by my house and my wife is outside mowing the lawn, she
Mhm.
supposedly likes it. I've offered to hire someone many, many times, but she swears she likes doing it. I
I
always
like
feel
it
bad.
too.
I got
Okay.
like I've fallen over in some duty I'm supposed to have. I blame my dad. I don't like it. But here's the thing. Let's just say that means I'm terrible at lawn. Cool.
Mhm.
I don't have to get good at lawn. I can just get good at
Right,
maybe making money and I'll pay someone else. And then that's a good thing for them. Now they have a job to
right.
do. Like I think there are pieces of life. So I kind of view life through 5 facets, right? So if life is a diamond, the 5 facets of life to me are fitness, faith, family, finance, and fun, right? And fun meaning like joy. Like, can you enjoy your life?
Yeah.
Because if you optimize your life so awesomely that you hate it, you didn't optimize it. Like you missed the point,
Mhm.
right? But
Yeah.
those things, sure, if something in those things, like the core aspects of life is deficient and you're like, man, I'm bad at, friendship. Okay, cool. Yeah, definitely try to get better at that. But I'm bad at cooking lasagna. Cool, just don't cook lasagna. Like you don't have to do everything. In fact, it's
Yeah.
impossible to do everything in life. And so focusing on what you can do well is awesome because then other people can benefit from that. And guess what? They're probably good at the things you're bad at. Surprise, right? Like my wife is really good at budgeting. I'm really good at making money. I'm terrible at budgeting. Awesome. We make a pretty good set. Like I go
Yeah.
make money, she hides it from me in budgets, and that
That's
works.
fabulous. We're the opposite over here. Um, what I think is really cool about this is as it relates to the online space and being an entrepreneur, and I see all the time people thinking in the online space you have to do everything. And
The AI's definitely cured that. I mean,
I know. I know. Um, But entrepreneurs who are newer to the online space, they think they have to be on every social media platform, and executives looking to, have a presence online, they think they have to do it on Instagram, Twitter, um, can't get used to calling it X, sorry, LinkedIn, and
we
all
all we all tweet on X. I don't know how that works, but
do
it's what
we?
we all do, right?
Do we? I don't understand it. And I think one of the magical things about growing yourself and growing a business is the more you take away, the more powerful you become. And the more you say no to, the more you narrow down what you're doing. And sometimes that's a mindset thing, don't you think?
Well, sure. I mean, so it's so crazy how AI is kind of having us really reevaluate life
Mm.
all the way
Mhm.
through, which is kind of fun to me. But here's what you're going to find with AI and prompts in AI. But guess what? It's true in life.
Mhm.
The constraints are what create beautiful things, right? So my
Right.
favorite thing, I played the Division 1 soccer in college. I think if there was a pro league, I might have even made. I was really good, but soccer wasn't really popular here. I love soccer. But soccer has very particular constraints. There's a
Yes.
certain size field and you can't use your hands.
Mhm.
Basketball has a totally different set of constraints, right? very similar games, but with opposite constraints, right? You can't
Yeah.
kick the ball in basketball. Those constraints make the beauty of the game. That's what makes the game fun. It's like, okay, how can I do this? How can I? And when you look at like branding or marketing or business, it's the same thing. Like, hey, here's what we do and here's what we don't do. And I think people think, well, these constraints are going to make me, less, sexy to other people. Well, sure. Yeah. I mean, if you run a chicken shack, people who don't like chicken aren't going to come, but people who do like chicken, which is a lot of people, will come. And if they want chicken, they'll come directly to you. And so
Right.
I think there are constraints, and those constraints actually free you because you can say, hey, I'm not that. And
Right.
once you start saying that, then you get to have time to be what you are.
Yeah. Yeah, that totally resonates because I think that context of who we are is always evolving. And I think the more you know who you're not, the more other people see truly who you are. And if you're trying to sell something, if you're trying to, attract clients or opportunities, you have to know that. So, and with AI,
I'll tell you, I'll give you your listeners. This is my number one favorite after running marketing firms and different things for decades. My
mhm,
favorite advice is if it's the 10-foot red massage sign, right? So you'll get people who come in and they do these holistic health centers or whatever, and essentially what it is there's massage or maybe acupuncture, maybe some other things, right? And they'll
mhm,
come in and they have this really great idea of like, we're going
yeah,
to call it the International Peace Loving Holistic Health Center. And I'm like, okay, but
no,
nobody knows what that is. So when they drive by, first off, they
okay,
can't even read that on the drive by.
mhm,
So, if we put that on the sign, that's fine. I mean, it means something to you. That's great. But could we say it in a way that people understand? No, 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 no. We have to educate the world that they need this. Cool. And I remember a client who spent thousands of dollars on the sign and then called me panicked and said, hey, we've been open for 3 months. Nobody's coming. I'm like, hey, why don't you do this? Buy $100 banner with big letters in red, massage, put it over top of that really expensive sign you bought and just see what happens for a week, right? 3 days
yeah,
later, they're booked out full because people are like, oh, I can get a great massage there, right? And then once they're in
yeah,
for the massage, great, that's a great spot. They eventually move the cool sign inside because that's the right spot for it. It's like,
yeah,
have people see what they want and then explain to them how what they want fits into a bigger picture. But
mhm,
you got to meet people where they are and you got to just
I
be
think so.
what you are, right? Like this is, I'm a coach. What's a coach? A coach is a horse-drawn carriage. It's something that gets you from one place to another place, right? That's
Ooh,
it. Like that's
I
it.
like that. I like that.
Preferably without getting robbed or or
Yeah,
falling out of the carriage, right? Like,
yeah,
and so that I like that definition of coach because it's what a
mhm,
coach is. I'm someone who just gets you from one place to another, right? What's a therapist? A therapist like looks backwards and heals things. That's cool. It's very important. Like therapy, counseling, coach, all
yes,
very important, but very different, right? I don't care how you got into the hole. I just want to get you up out of the hole, right?
yeah,
We might talk about how you fell in later so you don't fall in the next hole, but really you come to me in a hole, great. It doesn't matter how you got here. Let's get out.
yeah. Well, I love that, you understand that coaching is not your program. And I can't remember what I read from you, whether it was a post or something on your website, um, that really made me say he understands that coaching, and this is one of the things I say all the time, coaching is co created in conversation with my clients, going from one spot to another. And something of yours I read made me say he understands that he's not selling his program, he's selling where you want to go. And that's such an important distinction today in coaching with AI and marketing. And you don't know who's DMing you. Is it a bot or is it the real person? And just the idea that coaching is still personal and in conversation with other people.
Yeah, and it's you for ultimately, right? I'm a vehicle. I'm someone to help you get where you want to go, but it's
Mhm.
got to be where you want to go. And it's
Right.
I can help you, right? Imagine if you flew, I don't know, to Norway and you wanted to see this really great, place, and you get out of the airport and you get into the taxi. You say, "Hey, I want to go to Prekestolen. I want to see this really cool vista." And the taxi driver says, "No, no, no. You need to go to this place." And then he just drives to this other place you've never heard of that may or may not be cool. Like,
Mhm.
what is that? A lot of coaching today is a lot like that. You get in there, like, no, no, let me show you the 5-step process. And it's like, even
Yeah.
if that worked, like even for the things that have 100% worked for me, it's
Mhm.
like, you know what? I could tell you how to raise. I have 5 children, right? I could
Mhm.
tell you exactly how to raise my oldest kid. You know how much that helped me raise the second one? Not at all. And you know how much those two helped me raise the third one? Not at all. And all the way down to the fifth one, there were some patterns. I maybe was a little better at cleaning up poop and puke and things, but outside of very basic patterns, they
Yeah.
were all someone different. They were all
Yeah.
a unique individual. You
Yeah.
are a unique individual. One of the problems I think we have with medicine right now and
Mhm.
with technology, so medicine and technology, is rightfully so. We're super smart and we figured out statistics and we said, wow, when people eat this, a certain percentage of them lose weight. Well,
Mhm.
cool, but you, the individual, are not a percentage. You
Right.
are one dot. If you're just one dot, the goal in your life or in coaching is not to say, hey, this has a 90% chance of working, go do it. It's which dot are you? If you're in the 10% it doesn't work for, then this is going to get you nowhere. All statistics breaks down in a sample set of one, and every person on the earth is a sample set of one. So it's about finding like, where are you on the graph? Not, well, this probably works. Sure, we can say, hey, this works for most people. Let's try it out and see. But if you're
Yeah.
not constantly making it your own, you're going to fail. You're one
Totally.
one of the greatest lessons I ever had about this is I got a continuous blood glucose monitor, and so did a buddy of mine at the same time, right? So then
Okay.
we could both watch our. I mean, this is silly, right? But we would eat things and then watch. We'd hang out
Mhm.
for the next couple hours.
Let's
Like,
see what
okay, what
happens.
happened? Right. So here's a great test. By the way, when you get one of these, it gives you permission to test funny things. So chocolate cake. I was like, oh, cool. We could test chocolate cake. Potato chips and chocolate cake were my two favorite tests. So it's like,
Okay.
you don't eat anything for a long time, and then you eat it, and then you watch, right? So chocolate cake, my blood sugar goes up for 2-3 hours. And mine, because I had insulin insensitivity, which was the problem, right? This is why he and I are doing the same
Mm.
workouts. We're eating the same food, and I'm getting totally different results from him because
Wow.
his body didn't have this problem. He didn't abuse it to the point that it had insulin insensitivity. So he could
Mm.
eat certain grains and not have a problem. I couldn't. So, chocolate cake is like 4 hours of elevated, and then it kind of slowly tails off. All right, that's not good, right? So then
Right.
we start running out of the fun things, and so we decided to test Diet Coke. Let's see what happens. Like, hey,
Yeah.
do artificial sweeteners hit our bloodstream? Whatever. Okay, Diet Coke for me, nothing. Like, just nothing. Like, it was like nothing happened.
Okay.
So of course the next thing is, well, let's try Coke Zero. Like, we're playing, right? Let's try. We did Coke, Diet Coke, Coke Zero. Coke Zero spikes my blood sugar almost twice as high as chocolate cake and keeps it there for like 8 hours. It now,
What?
but for him, nothing. He got a little bump
Nothing.
and then it went away. And I remember looking at that.
Mhm.
I'm like, what in the? And so I did it again. It's like, oh, something went wrong with the thing. I put a new
Yeah, yeah.
monitor on. No, like, to me, this thing, my blood sugar goes bananas. It didn't happen to him. It's not a normal response. I don't think that's
Right.
usually I don't think most people drinking, Coke Zero hurts their blood sugar worse than chocolate cake. But for me, it did. And I'm so happy I had that experience because I was like, oh,
Yeah.
wait, I'm not trying to get the whole world thin. I'm trying to get me thin.
Me. Right. Right.
Honestly, no offense, the rest of the world, don't care. I'm working on this one.
Right.
And I hope that you're working on you, right? And not trying something that works for me, because I'm a 6'4", 300-pound guy. If I get in a fight, it's going to be a whole lot of aggression and being strong. I have a son who's like 5'3" and 120 pounds, and we do jujitsu together, and he's really good. But guess what? He doesn't beat me by lifting me over his head and throwing me. He uses nimble and he uses different moves because he's smaller and he can do things I can't do. And that's the same in your life. Like, remember that you're building your life. And so many people idolize the social media has got us to this point where we can see who's the best out of 8 billion people. We were never designed, guys, to see that
Yeah.
many people. Like that's
Yeah.
crazy. I mean, it's just crazy. Like
Yeah.
you know, like, oh, here's the richest guy on the whole earth. No, I mean, it's cool to know. I mean, I like it just like anybody else. The problem is though, it messes with you,
Mhm. It
and you
does.
start saying, oh, well, I want to be, a billionaire like the people I see on the internet. Oh, awesome, cool. Well, I've coached lots of billionaires, many of them suicidal. Side note, like several billionaires I've coached were suicidal when they came to me, because you know what? Have you ever owed anyone $500 million? Because every billionaire I know at some point in their life was backwards 200, 300, 500. Like, you imagine walking home realizing
No,
something went wrong and you now owe
no.
thousands of, you know what it's like to owe thousands of people $500 million. I mean, that's a level
No.
of money. Like, we're not even thinking maybe something bad's going to happen. Something horrible's about to happen. You just don't know what.
Yeah.
Right. And that's the kind of pressure. So if you want the benefit, you have to own the negative side. And so again, it's just your life for you. If you're idolizing someone, if you love David Goggins, for example, and I love David Goggins. I
Me too.
actually really initially I really didn't like him.
Mhm.
Then I saw him in person. And I realized he wasn't saying what I was hearing him say.
Wow.
What I was hearing him say was this craziness. But then when I
Mhm.
was in the room with him, I'm like, oh no, he's not being crazy. He's saying go as far as you can go. He's not
Yeah.
saying be me. But if you want to
Yeah.
be him, cool. But look at his whole life. Do you want the whole life? Because that's what it takes, right? It takes
Well,
it takes it
I
all.
think that's where entrepreneurs have a really hard time. Well, kids have a hard time in the online space as well, because you are seeing every extreme, right? You're seeing the most successful person in the world who does what you do, or some version of what you do. And it's really um, done from a comparisonitis, you know, place, when you see another coach who's saying they make $600,000 a month, and you're like, what's wrong with me?
Yeah.
And I think it's so
First
hard.
off, having coached tens of thousands of people, if you
Mhm.
haven't seen the deposit slip, don't believe it. The number of
Oh,
clients who come to,
please.
because this
Yeah.
is the kind of coach I am. So just in case you're wondering and you want ever to coach with me one day,
Yeah. Yeah.
the number of clients who come to me like Jack that they did $1 million deal. I'm like, awesome. Send me the deposit slip.
Mhm.
What? Yeah, show me. Like, I want to see. Like, that's so cool that $1 million came into your account. Like, let's celebrate that together. So, oh, hold on. Well, not. I mean, like, they didn't give the whole much. It's like a deposit. Oh, awesome. How big is the deposit? Oh man. And they'll say the number. It's usually, hundreds of
Yep.
thousands. Great. Let me see that. And I'll tell you, like, the $1 million deal, very, very often, not
Mhm.
always, but I'd say 60% of the time plus, you'll get a deposit slip for about 13,000, 20,000. And it is worth, they're not wrong, but it's just
Right.
really funny how, like, all of a sudden, but why not celebrate that? why,
Well,
why not be real? So
I
when
think
people are
because
like, oh, I did a bajillion $1 million,
well, because
like,
the
come on,
online space
come on.
rewards, flash and, extremes. And I remember it was probably 2010. I had a very successful health coaching practice in person. Um, really didn't have an online per se business. I think I had a Facebook profile, but I decided to start a Facebook group and kind of expanding myself into the online space. And I noticed a health coach who was on Facebook claiming, I don't know, there was like a screenshot maybe of PayPal or whatever, claiming this is how you're going to make $50,000 a month as a health coach, blah, 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 buy my program. And I showed it to my husband. Now, this is before my tech savviness. This was
Mhm.
before AI, all of it. And my husband looks at me. He goes, "You want one of them? I can make it for you."
Photoshop, $5
And
on
I was
Fiverr.
like, "Oh," like it hadn't even
Oh
crossed
yeah.
my naive mind that something somebody said on social media about their business was BS. And it really shifted something in me in the online space of that 98% of what you read and what you see is stretched BS or an outright lie to get you to buy something, persuasion, all
But
that nonsense.
that last thing that you said. So I took like a 6-year sabbatical from like all
Mhm.
socials. I have this belief, right, that the most valuable commodity in my life is attention, because
Yes.
attention drives my thoughts drive my
Mhm.
beliefs drive my choices and actions, and my life is the sum total of all my choices and actions, right,
Yeah.
combined with the choices and actions of anything or force around me,
Yeah.
right? So my attention, therefore, so when I pay attention, I'm spending my life. And very
Yeah.
early on, there's an invisible hand in social media, right? Because very early on, social media was cool because it was just a feed of everything your friends said in the order they said it, right? So it's
Correct.
like, hey, it's Monday. Here's what all my friends are saying on Monday. Eventually, though, the algorithm said, oh, if I show him Susie crying, holding her dog, and I show him, Kellen running with his dog, and then I show him an ad for dog food, he's going to buy dog food. And this is the invisible person in the social media is, what are we getting you to buy? Which is what it's all about at the end of the day, right? If the service is free, then you're the product. And what is the product? It's your attention. And what is your attention? The building block of your thoughts. That's the building block of your beliefs. That's the building block of your choices and actions, which results in your life. Therefore, your life, we are mining your life to
Mhm.
sell products. And so I just got out, and it's crazy. I coached thousands of people because I would align myself with other coaches who are great in the online space, and then I would just run the program. I didn't care if anyone knew me. I just coached a lot of people, and I
Yeah.
loved that. I
Same.
still don't care, although I realize that the market is where it is, and I want to play. And so now I'm back, but I will tell you that I don't consume the same way that most people do. I
No.
mean, I just, any comment people make, it comes to me in a text message, and then I have a way to respond to it without getting in there. And
Yeah.
I don't want my mind to be controlled, and because I think most people live kind of in this default mode of whatever comes, they react to it. I
Right.
don't want my life to be a reaction to what other people choose. I want to choose. I want to be an actor, right?
Yeah.
I want to be an actor. I want to act. What I decide matters. And in order to do that, I have to keep my attention on what matters to me. And I can't just get now, hey, my wife, she can turn my head anytime. Like she can well, that's true because she's smoking hot all A, but number two, like if she wants to yank, if right now she walked in the door, this would be
Uh-huh.
over, and I would give whatever attention I needed, right? That's
Yeah.
fine. There are people who can do that for me, but just the world at large and an algorithm who's
No, thank you.
hawking 10 million advertisers products that I don't even know what they are. I don't know. I don't want it. I want to be careful with that.
Yeah, and I think that's what messes a lot of entrepreneurs up is this constant scrolling or looking or seeking something outside of themselves in order to well, that's
It's the
why
thing.
options
It's
are
the thing that's
successful,
going to
right?
save them. It's the
Yeah.
thing that's going to save them. Because if you're an entrepreneur, you wake up and you're going to be a billionaire. By noon, you're going to live under a bridge, and if you're lucky, at 4 p.m., you might have five
Right.
more dollars than you had yesterday, right? Like, I mean, it's just kind of it's kind of almost like a bipolar existence. It's
It
you,
is very true.
entrepreneurs don't live in the present. We run off to the future, and we see this beautiful thing, and then we
Mhm.
come back to the present and we get angry that it's not the future we saw isn't already
Oh,
here, right? And
yes.
so I think with entrepreneurs in that state of like, we're constantly trying to create the future, which is awesome, but it's frustrating and it can be sad because like, I see it so clearly, but I just can't, make it happen.
But
With
it's
that though, we just lose sight. Like we want someone to save us. We're like, oh, I'll buy that guy's program. Now look, truth. I have bought $15,000 programs in less than 40 minutes of like I have done it, and it has done it for me. It helped. It saved my life. It all the things, right? But I am also very aware 90% of that was me saying, if I do this, I can do this. And guess who did it? I did it.
Right.
with their help. And thank God for every coach I've had. I mean, truly, like I always
Same.
have a coach, and I have had many, and I've paid lots of money and little money. But remember, I ultimately create my life. And so if
Yeah.
a coach comes into my life, it's because I paid him or her. And if I get results from that, it's because I did the work. Because trust me,
Correct.
when you've coached over 50,000 people, if you show up to
Mhm.
my program and you watch it like Netflix and you never do anything, you're going to be the same person on the like come into my program for 90 days, do none of the work. You know what you'll have wasted? 90 days.
I just let someone go. So I have 3 groups of people that are running, different levels, and somebody had been in my lowest. It's 97 a month. It's a community and it's a course, but there's no live time with me. It's kind of a do it yourself version, right? And so you would think, um, I wouldn't care if somebody was doing the work or not. And I just noticed that somebody had been paying since September and had never once logged in to my school platform. And I'm like, "You've been paying since September. What are you doing?" So I sent an email, personal email, you know, um, thousands of members over the years, but that stands out to me when somebody is paying for something and they're not doing the work. And I just sent an email, 3 sentences. I notice you've been paying since September and you haven't logged in once. What can I do to serve you? Suzanne, within 3 days, the person became a one-on-one client because they said they never had anybody care whether they participated or not. And I thought, she had a ton of money. Her business was doing incredible. She wanted support and she felt seen
Mhm.
when I noticed that. And I thought to myself, I will always have that amount of attention on my groups. Always. I don't want to scale to the point where I can't be that for people. So, I think there needs to be more of that in the online space.
Nothing worth a damn is scalable. Like, I mean, don't get me
Right.
wrong. I mean,
Right.
building cars and stuff. I mean, build, putting products out, but with human beings, right? It's
Mhm.
not like relationships are scalable. Like,
Right.
oh, I'm going to optimize my marriage so I can do it 1,000 times. I mean, that's silly. Like, real, true human contact is not scalable
Correct.
except through more humans, right? If you think
Mhm.
about it, procreation is not very scalable, but man, there's 8 billion of us. I mean, something's working, right? Like, because
Right.
it's distributed. Yeah,
Right.
not scalable for one person to collect all of the benefit. But
Right.
again, this is where so much of this kind of what I call the bullshittery of coaching comes in, is
Mhm.
because, I come to me, I have all the answers. You come here. Now, look, the truth is, a certain number of people just need that permission. If that's what works for you, awesome. I wouldn't even feel bad about it. Just go for it. But just
Yeah.
understand it's masks all the way down. I think this is something I've been realizing recently with clients is like, oh, I just want to get to the real me. I'm like, there's the real you right now. And then you're going to have another experience tomorrow and you're going to find something like it's masks all the way down. It's who I want to be all the way down.
Yeah.
Always. I mean, the word person comes from persona, which comes from the word mask. Like the word persona meant mask. It's the actual word for mask. And
Mhm.
it's not bad. It's how we're presenting ourselves. It's who we choose to be in any given moment, whether it's like real or bedrock. Like I don't know that you're going to get there. Like I guess maybe when you die, you figure it out. Maybe I mean, I haven't died,
Maybe.
so I don't
But
know.
I want to go back to what you said about nothing valuable is scalable. And I I love that so much. Totally
In
agree.
human, like in personal, interpersonal
Yeah.
relationships and human growth, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, like Tesla's scalable, or
Right.
like Frosted
Right.
Flakes is valuable and is
Yeah,
scalable.
an online course that requires none of your time, that's recorded and that's scalable. Yeah, you could dump money in the top of the funnel and grow the amount of people who have gone through your course. Okay. But coaching, mentorship, even a consulting business that involves my brain
Yeah.
is not scalable because I only have a certain number of hours I want to work. The only choice I have is to become, I call it the hairdresser
Mhm.
rule. When the book of business is full, the price goes up for the next
Sure.
person
Yeah.
coming, right?
Sure.
That is scalable, but
Well, but what else? What else is scalable too is realizing that people can run their own lives and teaching
Mhm.
them to do that and replicating like the decision process, not
Yeah,
replicating yourself. Like
right.
not hey, I'm not the only person who can do this. We can have other people. We can look at
Mhm.
something like Alcoholics Anonymous, right? It's amazing, and I don't know, maybe a million, but hundreds of thousands of people have run it. It didn't take one guy. Maybe it was one guy's idea or one group of people's idea,
Right.
but it quickly grew to, hey, you can do this. And here's a baseline of how this could work,
Mhm.
but see how it works for you.
Yeah,
This is when you're consuming coaching, when you're looking for a coach, like, yeah, you want someone who's going to really pay attention to you if you want that kind of intimate coaching, or maybe not. Maybe you're like one of these people who just wants the online things. You don't have to interact with people and you can get the growth that way. My experience is as a human being, if you're in a room of 1,000 people, the only
mhm.
person that you can't see in there is you. Every other
Ugh,
person you can see,
yeah,
but yourself, our eyes are set out, right? Our emotions are set out. Our so much of who we are is set outward, which is great because it protects us and helps us orient to our world. But the reason you want to coach is so that you can see in. The coach can see you in that room and saw how what here's what I
yeah,
thought I did, but then he said, well, you thought you did that, but here's what really happened, and I can show you a video, right? Like that, what you thought is not really what happened, and let's talk about why, right? We can reconcile that. As a human being, we need a mirror, right? And the problem with like just sterile online things, and look, I have online courses. I have what the online courses to me are is they get you so you can get activated and really make a difference in your life. And if that's all you need, awesome. Like I hope that really works. But they also introduce you to, hey, there's another level.
mhm,
There's another way to do this. Let's go play. Like let's go
mhm.
run this together. But you
Yeah,
need a mirror. You need someone who can see you. You can't see yourself. You just can't
yeah,
your eye, like think about it right now. You're looking through the screen, right? And you cannot see your eyeball. You
yeah.
can't, but everything that you're seeing is coming straight through it, but you're completely
Mhm.
unaware of it, right? You just can't. It's not possible, and that's okay. That's how it is. And yourself is really the same way. It's
Yeah,
through the mirror of other people that we can learn. It's through the mirror of mentors and coaches that we can see more of the path.
yeah. And being willing to really hold that, be willing to receive that reflection of who you are. AI has been helping me get better at sales, at delivery, at um but I had to be willing to receive where I screwed up, where I um, maybe didn't frame the call the right way or frame the meeting the right way. And what's been really interesting as I share that with my clients and strangers on the internet, like allowing a transcript of a discovery call to actually be um, evaluated at the level I programmed it and to really reflect, okay, at minute 3, you lost the frame. You didn't ask the question. You didn't offer your services. Like, honestly seeing where I wasn't doing well and where I wasn't standing confidently in the conversation was so, so powerful, but yet so hard to look at yourself and say, I effed up. I need to do this better. And then being willing to take that next step and learn from someone or, buy a coach, get a coach, do a program, read a book even. What do you think is the biggest hurdle? When is it the admitting that you're not doing well at something, or is it the actual looking at yourself and examining where you're not?
So this is where you're going to see that I'm all coach and no counselor.
Okay.
Here's the hardest thing. The hardest thing is telling the truth. The hardest thing is, here's where I really am, and then telling the truth about where you want to go, because people have both sides of that are very difficult for them.
Yes.
Telling the truth about where I really am, like what is my real weight, what is my real age, what is actually in my account right now,
what's the real weight?
Right,
People have trouble with the real weight.
Well, I mean, saying what it really is, like just just getting into your underwear, standing on a scale and having the number up above your head, like that. A lot of people have a hard time with that, and they will play games with themselves. I've had clients who think that eating fruit flavored candies is healthy because it's fruit, and I'm like, whoa, we're not, like, we're out of reality, right? Like, we've left. Okay, I mean, I see how you got there, but that's not there. That's over here. Like, that's candy.
Wow. Okay.
Right. So
okay.
what I mean is just get real. Where are you really?
Yeah.
Right. And then where do you really want to go? Really, not like the fake, we get these high-minded ideals of like, oh, I'm going to do all this great stuff. And really, a lot of times we're just really petty. Like, a lot of times we just
lie to yourself about what the actual number on the scale is.
It can't work. And this is why it can't work. That's why you must be honest. Okay.
Work.
Because check this out. Where are you right now in the world? I don't know.
I'm in Philadelphia.
Perfect. And I'm in Galveston, Texas. Okay. So there is a way. I could type into Google right now, hey, how do I get to Philadelphia? And it'll spit out, miraculously, it'll spit out all sorts of options. In fact, it'll probably try to sell me a flight, right? But it'll tell me how to get there. Now, imagine I'm actually in Galveston Island, but I'm pretending that I'm in California.
Okay.
And then I tell you, yeah, I'm in California. Where are you? Oh, okay, cool. Let me get the map. Send me the directions. Okay, and you're going to send them to me. And if I follow them, what's going to happen? Nothing, because I'm not actually in California. There's no possible way to make the path. If you cannot be honest about where you are and where you want to go, there's no way to set a course that'll actually get you anywhere. You're just playing pretend. And if you're playing pretend, guess where you're going to go? Nowhere, right? You have to be able to tell the truth. I'll tell you another thing is, if you don't know what you want, and people say this, and I think it's almost always a lie, and I don't mean a malicious lie like you're a horrible toddler who pretended not to eat the cookies. I just mean, like, it's not really true. If you really just get quiet, you know what you want. But if you don't know what you want, you already have it. If you don't know where you're going, you're already there. So look around. Do you like it? Because that's where you are, right? Like,
nice.
You not like what you have. Like, people say, oh, I don't know what I want. Well, then you have it. Look around. Is it making you happy? Is it working? Maybe. Look, not everybody has to change everything all the time. That's silly, but look around. Is it working? If it's not, then if it's not working, we can never build something on not. Well, I don't want to be fat. I don't want to be poor. I don't want to be lonely. Okay. But what do you want instead? Where are you going?
Yeah.
Where are you going? Well, I mean, cool. That's good that you don't want that, but what would you like instead? And then let's go there. We can't just move away from things. You'll never get results moving away from. When you see someone who has trouble getting results, and you look at their goal or their target, it almost always is moving away from something, because it's just so hard. Because you get one step away, and I'm away. People say more. Oh, I want more money. Well, here's $1. Are you happy? Because that's more. I mean, how much more? By when, right? That gives us a destination. If we won't tell the truth about where we are and where we really want to go, really, like, why do you want to make 100,000?
I love that so much, Kevin. I really do, because I feel like, being an athlete, being a high achiever, I've always just move towards what I wanted or what I was creating. And I think because of that, all the negative things that have happened over the years, and there's a huge list of negative things, like major things, they weren't a factor in, I mean, did they delay me slightly with certain things? Yes, of course. Did they hold me back from doing certain things, injury, recovery, illness, whatever? Yes, of course. But it never affected how I felt about where I was planning on going. And I think one of the things that I notice about people in general is this rumination of the past. The maybe it's regrets, or maybe it's, and I don't want to say excuses because there's a lot of traumatized people out there from different negative
Well,
events,
there's still
right?
excuses. There are valid excuses. I mean, there just
Correct.
are. Like there are things really happen,
Yeah.
right? So but there's still excuses, right? If I have excuses, why I can't do certain things, like because I'm too tall for certain things, that's an
Hmm.
excuse, but it's also a reality, right? So I don't think all excuses are bad. I think we've
No.
gone kind of too far.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I'm
I mean, finding, I can talk about the negative things that have happened. Um, and I give a lot of talks, right? But I can talk about it in a way that I learned something from it, or I found something in
well,
that.
no one talks about post traumatic growth.
No,
And there is a lot of post
there
traumatic
is.
growth, post traumatic stress disorder are just they're. I don't want to say they're completely a choice, but they kind of are. Like
Mm.
addiction is a choice. The trauma is a choice. Like I mean, Adler was very famous, and it's for saying, hey, there's no trauma. There's just a decision you have to hang on to something. And as much as I initially when I heard that, I thought that's crazy. The older I get, the more I'm like, wow, I see what he's saying. It's
Yeah.
like, okay, an event happened, but I get to pick where I go from. Listen, that does not mean that we're never victims. We are. I
Yes.
don't want to live in a victim mentality, but for sure, you can be victimized, you can be robbed, you can be beat up. Like they not life can knock you on your ass in the most unmerciful ways with no reason. I mean, just
Yep.
completely random. I mean, I saw something the other day where a guy's just walking down the street, somebody shot at someone else and missed and hit him. I mean, he has nothing to do with it, right? He's just
Mhm.
a guy walking down the street and now
Told
he's
his
dead. So
girlfriend.
life will take you to your knees. But you then, as an individual, have the power to choose where you go from there. If life knocks me on my ass and I'm still on my ass 6 months from now, I don't think
Mhm.
that's on life. I am a force of nature. Like I'm light in the night. I wake the sleeping giants. It's what I do. It's what I've always done. It's what I was put on this earth here to do. I'm a force of nature. But so are you. And so is every single person listening to this. If you think you're not, it's because you haven't accepted that that is true. I'm not the only
Mhm.
force of nature. I'm not necessarily the biggest force of nature. I will be reckoned with anywhere that I am. But guess what? So will you. Right. And so if we just start owning that, life
Yeah.
gets really interesting. I tried out for a soccer team when I first went to Brigham Young University. I didn't know this, but it was the national championship soccer team that year. So we got there. There's like 4 spots on the team. There's like
Uh-huh.
160 guys trying out. Right. And I am from Louisiana. I've never been at altitude. I can't even run a mile the first day of the 2 days before practice because I'm getting bloody noses. I'm like, what is that? I don't know what's happening. I was born 6 feet below sea level, right? And now I'm at 10,000 feet trying to play a competitive
Oh,
sport.
wow.
I really quickly realized, man, I don't have the lungs for this. I don't know what's going to happen.
Mhm.
So, hey, there's 2 senior goalies. Nobody's trying out for goalie. So I just pivoted. I'm going to play goalie. I'd never played goalie, but hey, I'm going to figure this. I want to get on the team. There's 4 spots, right? I can't run. This is a reality. Like I'm trying to run and my nose is bleeding. I can't really do it well. Well, you run a lot less at goalie. There's 2 senior goalies. They need a goalie. No one's trying out for goalie. I'm going to do this. Well, I never played goalie. It's not that easy. It's not like a natural thing to do. And as I was trying to figure it out, that one of the goalies came over and he said, listen, let me tell you everything you need to know about playing goalie. I'm like, all right, I'm all ears. He said, the 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 ball is yours. The posts are your best friend, and nothing hurts more than the ball hitting the net. It's like if you just embrace those 3 things, the posts are
Wow.
your best friends, the ball is yours. You own it. If the other team has the ball, they stole it from you. If your team has the ball, they're borrowing it from you to go score with. And he's like, if you get that and through your head, you'll be a great goalie. That clicked for me, made the
Mhm.
team. miraculously made the
Wow.
team, right? How? Because I was like, man, that's my ball. That's my ball. And life is the same way. You want something in life, go take it. Now listen to what I'm saying. I didn't say steal it. I didn't say defraud people to get it, but take
Yeah.
it.
Claim it.
Why not you? Like, why not you? You're not going to be Elon Musk. Why? Because you're not him. But there's a thing you can do that no one else can do at the same scale that he does this crazy thing that's being him that no one else can do. But you got to accept it. You got to believe it, and you have to go. You have to take action. You have to take the next crappy action.
Yeah.
You have to do that little tiny thing that you've been putting off for 5 years that takes 10 minutes, but you just don't want to face it. Go do that. Like, that's the thing. Stop hesitating.
I love it. Perfect spot to wrap up. Where can my listeners find you?
I am at It's Coach Kevin pretty much everywhere. My website is It's Coach Kevin as well. About to release a book and have a really cool app for helping you keep yourself accountable throughout the day. Like I said, we are really bad. No one can keep themselves accountable with no other input. It's not possible because you can't even see what you're doing, right?
Yeah.
And so accountability takes a group. It takes more than you. And so I'm real big on that. So I'm real big on creating those types of groups. But man,
let me know when the book is ready and I'll add it to my book club list. Thank you so much, Kevin. Great to meet you, get connected today and learn about you. Look forward to more conversations. Have a great weekend, everybody.